Welcome back to the Tide Deer Hanger. This is Mike. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well, going into a great weekend. And today I want to talk to you about something a little bit different, but yet still sort of the same. And I want to talk about habits. Collector bad habits. And a lot of people would say, well, some of this is good habits. Some are bad habits. And with that, you're right. You're right on all of this. You're right. And I usually talk about masterpiece transformers when it comes to Friday. But other things are going to be factors in this that aren't directly related to masterpiece transformers, but is still kind of transformer related, transformer collector related. And we're going to talk about this stuff. I'm going to make these points. I'm also going to counter some of them, and I'm going in a different order than I originally planned to in this video because I think I'm going to refer back to some of these. Hope it works out. Coming up. The first bad habit for collecting is not pre-ordering something that you want. And I for the longest time didn't pre-order anything and hope for it to show up, maybe go on sale, catch it here or there, scramble for it at the last minute. Nowadays I pre-order everything. Everything that I know I want, I'm going to pre-order that because of the fact that I know that if I don't, the one thing I don't pre-order that I really, really want is going to sell out everywhere, and then I'm not going to be able to have it. And with that, I actually have an example of something. It's not a masterpiece, but my first foray into the Blokies, and I went ahead and ordered everything, and I believe I'm going to have everything coming in, except for this, to combine it, which is kind of dumb for me. I didn't pre-order this. I didn't go after this set. I wasn't looking for it until I heard it was too late, and that's when I started looking, and it's too late. So when it comes to pre-ordering, if you really, really want something, make sure you pre-order it. Another thing about pre-ordering is you're going to know when it comes in. So a lot of times, if I don't pre-order something, and maybe I don't hear that it's coming out, or, I mean, usually I do, but maybe I don't hear it comes out, maybe it comes and goes and I miss it. And I have to hunt on the secondary market. Now, that seems to be kind of a serious pain, something I don't want to deal with. And I think it's really important when it comes to these combiners. We're building a lot of these combiners right now. And if you're not pre-ordering each one of these pieces, there is a chance you're either going to miss one of the components, or even worse than that, you're going to be paying double what you should have paid in the first place. So pre-ordering stuff you truly, truly want is something that's important. Failing to do that's a bad habit. Now, on the flip side of this, having too many pre-orders, and it's happened to me several times, and I've gotten a little bit better at this. This is why I order all my Masterpiece stuff from Show-Z store, and then I know it's there. I know I'm going to get it. I don't have to worry about it. Now, if I miss out on it, I start looking at other places for one or two oddball things. It's a lot easier to maybe find one or two oddball things here and there at other places, and just know you've got the main core of what you're looking for at one place. And it doesn't have to be Show-Z store. It could be anywhere that you want to pre-order your stuff or order your stuff. And with that, I've got to say that it makes a lot of sense to have one designated place that you have all your primary pre-orders, and then maybe pre-order somewhere else. But too many pre-orders at too many different places, and it can overload you, especially if you're collecting multiple different lines. If you're collecting multiple different lines, stuff starts showing up. Before you know it, you've got $1,000 worth of stuff showing up in 1 month that you weren't expecting, or maybe you should have expected it, but you didn't expect it, and it's just kind of what happens. And it happened to me, so I start streamlining some of my pre-orders, and definitely I do a better job that if I find it local for something maybe Hasbro related or something even Super 7 related, then I go and cancel my BBTS orders on those kinds of things. But with all of that, too many pre-orders is also a really bad habit. I mean, too many at too many places, spread out, double and triple pre-ordered. Next up is picking the wrong scale. I want to showcase this from Streak Shooter's video. He does a great job with his videos, and the size comparisons work pretty well. I try to do this kind of stuff myself too, but his looks better than mine, and so I'm going to shout them out for doing a great job with this. So getting an idea, MMC or X-Trans bots, which one do you like better, size and scale? And one of the problems is it's a bad habit that we pick a scale and maybe MMC. Some people love it. Some people love that scale. Some people don't like that scale. But to pick it and say, well, I got 2 combiners in this out of maybe total of 8 you're going to get, but I really would like the bigger ones, but I've already got this scale in the first 2. I got to tell you, it's not really that hard to sell stuff off and then move to another scale if you want to, but because you picked the wrong scale or you're not as happy with the scale in the first place is not a reason to continue to buy everything else in that scale. You might say, well, guess what? I like this scale, the new Toy World, I like the Fans Toy scale, I like that scale a whole lot better. And if you're in that kind of place that you like those better, then why not switch up to that? So, I mean, that's just one of those things that I've noticed. The scale is a big deal. The reason I even bring this up is because I was there myself. I thought 18-inch scale is great. 18-inch scale is fine. Why not just have the 18-inch stuff and go rock with that, roll with that, and it's fine. And then once I started seeing the bigger scales, I tried to fight off the Zeta and the Toy World, and eventually I made the plunge, and I'm thankful for that. I like the bigger ones myself. But that doesn't mean if you collect the 18-inch or even 15-inch, there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's a bad habit to not be open-minded to the newer size scales. On the flip side, it's a good habit to save your money by not having to rebuy the same characters over and over. So I see both sides of this coin here, but also I have done pretty well selling off some of my old stuff in the older scales. The next one, and this one still happens to this day, it kind of gets on my nerves, but on my nervous, it bothers me. But people that continually misuse terms like scalper for resellers, I've got to say this. If something has sold out and there's no way to get it through normal means, the only way to get it is through a reseller. And a lot of these people will use that term scalper for anyone in the world that sells something that's not a distributor. And like any collector that sells something of their own personal collection, or they sell anything, they're referred to as a scalper for selling. And I got to tell you that that's bad for a lot of reasons. But when stuff sells out, maybe you waited too long to buy it. Maybe you failed to pre-order. You chose not to. That bad habit led to another bad habit. Now, the other bad habit of having to pay double or triple on the secondary market, or the other bad habit of calling those people that are selling their stuff on the secondary market as scalpers. Not all resellers are scalping items, and I know it does happen. I know things get scalped. I can't find anything Masterpiece of recent that is being like scalped, but I will say this. This Star Wars Retro Collection multi-pack, the New Hope one, the newest one at Target, all these people got their orders canceled. Now they're starting to show up in stores, and people are flipping them on eBay from $60 normal price to $175. That is scalping. I mean, that's the definition of scalping. This thing is showing up at Targets for $60, and people are buying them, taking them home, and then selling them immediately for $175. It's crazy. I do believe this thing is not going to be in short supply. I think that it's just a Target error, and that's how it always has been. I've had a lot of stuff not show up from Target pre-orders before, but this is truly scalping, not somebody just selling off their... Well, no, this isn't scalping here. I can't tell you how many people still say someone's scalping their spotter. I mean, it's a misuse of the term. But okay, I mean, this is what you call market value of something. People getting the market value on this. But I did look this up, and it's funny because I don't look at it every day. I look at it when I bring in one of these points talking about the words like scalper. And I noticed that there's a $420 one. That's like the cheapest one I've seen in a long time. It just doesn't have a box, and I don't know if it's complete or not, but I just noticed that. If you want one, you might be able to get a deal on a spotter right now. But if none of these people are reselling, then there'd be no way at all to get a spotter, right? I mean, am I right? So we talked about not pre-ordering. Then we talked about what could happen if you miss out on the pre-order and it sells out. You have to get it on the secondary market. But now we're into something a little bit different, And that's not transforming. This is another bad habit, especially of Transformer collectors, where they say it's not Transformers if it doesn't transform. And that's great for your personal collection, but it's still kind of a bad habit. Transformers is a brand, and if you choose to collect only transforming characters from that brand, then you're limiting yourself. But still, that's the whole fun thing about collecting. That's how you collect. If you decide to collect stuff only in the package, you're an only in the package collector. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just you do what you do, but you're missing out on opening it too. But a lot of people say that this is Aldi figures, and there's a lot more great ones to come. The other one we saw, Yolo Park's doing really great work, and you miss out on some of these. I really think the best way to get the best RC, eventually we're going to get a Masterpiece scale RC that's just an action figure that is downright perfect. And mark my words, it's coming. I haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be here one day. And a lot of people are going to clamor for that, even the ones that say they only collect Transformers that transform. And there's the 30M DLX. Now these are a little bit smaller. I think of all of them, they might be the smallest, but and the most expensive at the same time. But they look great, a bit stylized. Seems like the more stylized something is, the more expensive it becomes. But I look forward to a lot of these figures, these Aldi figures, more of the Yolo Park. But then there's a whole chunk of people out there that don't, and that's fine. But I think people should be a little more open-minded when it comes to this kind of stuff. And it is kind of fun to collect these. And you can make them look a little bit better or closer to perfection if they don't transform. But like it or not, they are part of the Transformers collecting world. And so are Transformers Pops. The next bad habit I see, now see, this is all compounding, and then there's going to be a big finale at the end, right? But this one is people arguing on Facebook. I really don't get it. Arguing on Facebook about trivial matters, and I've got a very specific trivial matter we are going to discuss. But whether it's Transformers, whether it's current events, weather, politics, or any of that kind of stuff, you are not going to change someone's mind on Facebook or Instagram or any of these social medias. And in fact, even on YouTube, I think some people that make really great videos, good videos, can change people's opinion or open their mind a little bit. And so that's kind of one thing social media can do. But if you're arguing with somebody on Facebook about any of these topics, you're not going to win them over. It actually seems like they've got their mind made up. And even if you show evidence or bring the receipts, they don't seem to care. So you've wasted all of your time. I don't argue with anyone on Facebook. I just know it's a waste of time. You're never going to win an argument on Facebook or any of these other platforms. So this is the argument that is the oldest argument, probably old as time, or at least as old as 1984, and that's the red versus blue. Is Rumble red or is Rumble blue? And for me, Rumble's blue. They got it wrong on the packaging. But other people, they're like, nope, die hard what it says on the packaging. It has to be that. And this, they go back and forth with it. And it's kind of funny, but in the cartoon, it says Rumble. The cartoon sold the toys. Without the cartoon, I don't think Transformers would have been a tenth of the popularity that it has gained over the decades, because it was a great cartoon. It was a good cartoon. It was fun, and that's what we watched as kids, and that's where we identified the characters, understood what was going on in the whole world there, and with that, Rumble's blue in the cartoon. Yeah, they say it's an animation error and all that stuff, but no amount of arguing with somebody is going to change this. Somebody has their mind made up. As soon as they hear about this argument, they're like, oh yeah, he's blue. And no. I've always thought of him as red. So that argument, they've made their mind up. You can go back and forth with all of these facts, and it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, two people with different opinions will stay different opinions. It's just a fact. Lastly, we have a bad habit of being ruled by emotion, and a lot of that is because of nostalgia. And we've talked about nostalgia in the past, but it's one of those things that makes you make irrational decisions, irrationally, financially irrational decisions, and buying stuff that maybe you don't need. We have that yearning for the 80s, part of the 90s, part of the 70s. It just depends. I'm even experiencing nostalgia for older Masterpiece Transformers from 2014 and even some stuff in 2007. I'm starting to have some modern nostalgia myself, and that is sort of being ruled by emotion. And you can end up buying something for $200 that you don't truly need, but you sort of kind of want, but you didn't know you wanted it, but you sort of, it's timed exclusive. So this kind of stuff is sort of ruled by emotion more than logic. $200 for these two figures is not really a good decision, but I did it anyway. Now, do you have to get all of them, or can you just live with the one ghost? I mean, there's a lot of decisions when you're ruled by emotion, but I'll tell you this. I'm probably going to have to resort to finding a scalper to buy this combiner parts, the set to build a Devastator for the blockies, the blokies. And that's probably where I'm going to have to sit. I missed out on the pre-orders. A lot of people probably missed out on the pre-orders, and there's probably only going to be a few available from the scalpers. And I'm also going to have to be rolling the dice from an international seller. A lot of stuff with this, and Shozi sold out of them, and they made it sound like they don't think they're getting more allotment in, but we'll find out. But anyhow, what do you guys think about all this stuff? What more bad habits are there out there that we do all the time? And with that, it's just kind of fun to talk about it, but also it's a little bit funny, right? Like and subscribe to Deer Hanger out.